Gamer Smoothies. Gamer Smoothies. What's that? What's that? Gamers. I don't know where my freaking glasses now. I don't know where my glasses. I have no idea where my glasses. Hold on. I found it. I found it. I forgot I was drinking iced tea. Okay. Gamer Smoothies. Well, I'm gonna do my best here. So we got the fruit. And we got the Monster in there, and the Monster juice in there. I know that I need a lot of ice. With all that frozen fruit in there, I really just don't know that I need a whole lot of ice. That's enough. I think that there's enough sweetness with the Monster. If not, we can always fix that, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I need to add sugar on this one. Alright, we'll give it a shot. Loudness warning. Hey everyone. Joining, guys. Alright, let's check it out. It's a little thick. So what I'm actually going to do is just a little bit of water. Sometimes I wonder if it's on. Actually, a little bit more. Just ever so slightly. Oh yeah. Yep, that's what you want. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's give this a shot. So remember, we didn't actually add any sugar on this one because we added a Monster Juice Mango Loco. So that should be enough sweetener, but we'll see. Actually, it's really good. Wow. I like that. So, the fruit blend we're using is the same as yesterday. It is mangoes, strawberries, and blueberries. And we used a Mango Loco, the Monster Juice, the blue one. We used that. That's the whole can. And that's that gamer smoothie that I was talking about, and that's why I called it that, because you know you're getting the energy drink in there. So there you go, guys. That's pretty solid. Actually, it tastes really good. Pretty solid. Highly recommend this product too. Ninja blender is a phenomenal product, as my coffee maker is too. Whenever I make coffee, you guys always, see me on those coffee streams. It is just that Ninja coffee maker that I'm using each time, and these are excellent products. Wow, that is very good. So again, running through those ingredients. mangoes, strawberries, blueberries, frozen. They're thrown in there. Then we did the mango, the monster. Then the ice, and we did a little bit of ice. We didn't do a lot of ice. We also did just to let you know, the yogurt is literally just plain. You don't need to go. It's literally just plain yogurt, guys. You're wondering, like, what's that secret I'm not trying to be, like, secretive about it. There you go. It's just plain yogurt, man. And I did 3 heaping tablespoons. And like I said yesterday, it's probably about 2/3, 3/4 of a cup, realistically, of yogurt. And then we still have... It's 2 servings. It's about 2 servings. Like, you got a friend, you and a friend want to try it out. It's 2 servings. Yeah, you could easily just pour 2 glasses out of this. I need to get a smoothie straw. That is a perfect consistency. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of impressing myself here with... I didn't realize how easy it was to make smoothies. So, yeah, I mean, I think it also matters, like, having the right product, too. You know, obviously, this is a top-quality blender. That's going to make a difference, too. The ease of making these things, but truthfully, that is very good. I'm actually surprised at this. Genuinely surprised at this. Wow. And you saw sort of what I did there at the end. As it basically, what you want to realize is that when you shake this up and you kind of look at it inside, if the consistency looks like there's any point at which the center starts to separate from the liquid, that's what you want to look for. You do not want that. That means that your fruit and all that stuff is just sort of sitting in the middle and all the liquid's kind of falling off of it. So, if you see that, you just gotta, that's what we did at the end, where I added a little bit of water, just a little bit at a time so you don't mess it up. And then you finally get that nice liquid consistency where you don't see that too much separation, but it's still nice and thick. There's a little dollop on top, but the whole thing's moving around. So that's exactly what you want. You want still a nice thick consistency. Trust me, it is. You could get it through a straw. And that's the important thing. The important thing is you can get it through a straw. I guarantee you can get that through a straw easily. It's not too thick, and that's the important thing. And that's what you want, is you want to be able to see that, you know, if you look in there and you kind of move it around, the middle part shakes around with the fluid and gets mixed back up with it. It doesn't stay solid, if that makes sense. And that means you can get it through a straw. It will, you know. You get what I'm saying. So there you go. Just little things that you just apply, just, you know, kind of basic common sense sort of stuff to making certain things, make it easy for yourself. But again, a lot of what you do is how you use the things. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea I didn't expect that I was going to be that good at making steaks with a cast iron skillet and like have this. I just started doing it one day, but that's not always gonna like be the case with everything. Like again, like this is something that, in my opinion, yeah, it's pretty easy to do, and that's why like there's a lot of places that like can make businesses like really quick, have businesses out of it and stuff like that because it's really cost efficient and stuff like that, and it's pretty easy to do. So as long as you train people right and stuff like that, and get the portions right, you're good. But again, it's gonna you want different things too. You don't just want the same thing. So I'd have to like sit there and experiment with like a whole bunch of different stuff, and that could actually be pretty fun. Gamer smoothie, man. I actually really like it. I really, really do. It's so good. If you want to know the difference between yesterday and today, the difference in flavor, more mango. Because again, I used the Monster Juice, the Mango Loco. I already crushed it, but I have more here. This is the one we used. So there you go. And just like a whole can. Just put the whole thing in. It's a 16-ounce can. I think it's 16. Yep, 16. So there you go. And this one's not super high in caffeine content. It's really not. And basically, this is 2 servings too. So you're splitting that in half. You have to understand you're actually splitting that in half too. So whatever the you know what I mean? If it's 2 serving sizes and you are actually sharing it with another person, you are splitting the caffeine content in half. You have to realize that. So, and it's easily two servings, easily. Got a bunch more out of them. This thing is so nice. Like I can't say enough nice things about this. Like, it's not like this annoying metal thing that gets dirty and stuff like that. Like, you can clean everything about it. Like, it's just so good. And it's simple, too. You guys saw I just pushed a button and it intermittently blended. It's so good. And just amazing. I have no idea how they're so good, except that they take pride in making the products quality. That's the only thing I can say. Very few like that anymore. So obviously I spent some time cleaning. Really needed to get it to the way that I would want it to be doing this regularly. I'll be honest with you, I need to be cooking food more again at home and stuff like that, so I have steak burgers for some time. Yes. And don't forget, guys, I also gave you, if you remember, I gave you a totally free burger recipe that I just made up on the spot, and it ended up being super good. It was like, I was astonished at how good it was. Actually, like, surprisingly good. Like, to the point that, like, a burger place would have this and it would be a special. And I gave it to you for free. I gave it to you for free. You can have it. It's yours. Have it. Use it. I want good food out there. I'm serious. Like, I just want people to eat good food. That's it, man. It's yours. Just like this gamer smoothie recipe. It's yours, man. I hope I see, like, I don't know, Emru, right? What isn't that? Doesn't she do cooking stuff too sometimes? That'd be cool. Seeing them all do like smoothies and shit. That'd be great. I'm sure they would have like hilarious suggestions that would be terrible. Some of them. I'll bet some of them would be really good at making suggestions though. That's why it's funny. That's why it's nice to have more people around when you stream. Obviously. But yeah, just a tablespoon, guys. That's my yogurt spoon. It's not like Greek or tap. It's just regular yogurt. It's regular, flat out, plain old yogurt. It's not even vanilla. It's just plain. Don't get vanilla. Get plain. It has to stay plain. There is such a thing. You probably don't even think about it, but it's the yogurt that all your fruit and stuff is in. That's plain yogurt. Usually. Unless it says otherwise. Man. This is good. This is good stuff, man. It really is. Just saying that. It's really freaking good. So the brand Wyman's? Brand of fruit wine. Wyman's? Does that sound right? It says family owned in Maine. That's cool. I mean, so good. So good. A lot of times I just use like the stuff that like is like the, you know, store brand or whatever, but this time it was relatively it was moderate, you know, I mean, it was about the same price, and it's pretty good pricing. So I mean, it ended up being really freaking good, obviously. It's always nice to get mangoes in your. So yeah, like if you want the exact ingredients, the brand of fruit, I think it's Wyman's. I guess I see that. It's good stuff. Gamer smoothie. Gamer smoothie. Yum. Yum. Okay. This time, I wiped my my mouth off. I remember to do it this time. Remember how I didn't remember to wipe my mouth off last time? When I did this? And I just said like, yep. And then it was definitely there. That's pretty funny. Good thing I remembered. It's very good. Very, very good. Gamer smoothie. Should I put my piercing back in? It hasn't even been in so long. I was just thinking about it. I only had one. I only have one. It was, there. What's up with this trending weirdness? Being all weird. I do, like I said, I do wish I had a smoothie straw, but it's still good either way. I just don't want to. It's annoying getting smoothie on like your mouth and stuff because it's sticky, you know. But like I said, it is actually really good. I didn't have to put any sugar in this time because we used the Monster juice. So, and it ends up being really good. Come on over, I'll make you a smoothie. I'll make you a gamer smoothie. I'll make you a gamer smoothie. Gamer smoothie. Yeah. Yeah. Freaking good, man. Freaking good. I spilled it. I spilled it. Whoops. What? play anything anymore. It just sounds like a song. It's like nothing original. Well, that's not true. Actually, it's kind of annoying because sometimes I come up with some pretty original sounding patterns when I'm like pounded on the steering wheel in the car, and I just forget it later. I'm like, shit. That's how it happens. That's how it goes, right? That's exactly how it goes. And you're like, damn it, how did I do that? That's how it goes. That's why Seven Dust is so epic. Because of the patterns and stuff that drummer uses. Makes their music truly unique. Like, that's part of it. And part of, you know, it's funny because, like, they have a format, but they don't. They do, but they don't. It's interesting. It's more like sometimes. You know what I mean? But I mean, even Queen did that. Queen didn't always not have a format. They sometimes did. They just didn't like doing that necessarily. Who likes doing that? Maybe some people. I think if you're a musician and you truly know how to write a song, it starts off a lot of times as like this big thing. That's just personally how I feel. And it just gets so condensed for radio or whatever. Like, if you're truly a musician. Because, like, that's just always how I experience it. Is like, I'll start off with something where it's like a melody or something like that. And I just want to build so much off that. And then you end up doing it. And then you're like, oh yeah, well maybe I should split this up. I don't know. Just how it goes, I guess, for me. But I'd actually like record it. Smoothies are awesome. Especially gamer smoothies. Gamer smoothie. It's good, man. Of course I'm gonna finish it. Of course. I'm about to make a sandwich, I'll tell you what. Oh yeah, I had pancakes. have pancakes. It's mine. I'll show you my. Should I show you my pancake mix that I use? It's too much. That's too much content. That's too much. That's too. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's good stuff. I use. I also use this too, by the way. If you've never seen this stuff, this stuff's amazing, and it's 100% maple syrup. 100%. And it's actually pretty affordable. You're like, that's so expensive. It's actually not. It's like the only one that's doing it somehow. It's really good. Cause like that's the point. You don't want, if you think that the syrup that you're eating is good, and you've never even tried 100% pure maple syrup before, at least give it a shot. And then tell me that you still think that all the other syrups are good. Because I think it'll change your mind. I think that you'll understand that the simplicity of the real product, the real thing, tastes much better. And again, this is a really affordable. I think it's like $4 or $5 for a bottle. But you understand, you use less. You use less of this because like it spreads out. You know what I mean? Like you just put a little bit and it really, really spreads. It's not thick. Look how thin it is. And it's still syrup. You understand? It's still syrup. So it's because it's so thin, it's just going to really spread out. It's not thick nonsense. It's just maple syrup, man. It's good stuff. It really is. It really, really, really is. It's very good. Spring tree. I was just kidding. It's not too much content. I'm just kidding. Crusties. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. You just add water. And it's actually pretty affordable. You get a lot of pancakes out of this. It's good stuff, man. It really, really is. I only need 1 cup of mix. I made a few pretty big pancakes this morning. But yeah, I guess you can make waffles with it. I haven't even tried that, but yeah. Krusty's is good, man. But anyway, I'm gonna start cleaning this stuff up. Yeah, this blender, by the way, at least for me, this is the type of blender that I wouldn't leave sitting out. I put it away. Just for me, personally. Because, like, it's just not the type, in my opinion, that I would leave sitting out. You know, it's a more specific use. Like, I'm using it for smoothies. I don't really use a blender for much else, but again, I don't know that I'd even use this. I don't know. I might. I'm sure it works great for food and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, I put this away. I don't leave it sitting on the counter. Is what I'm saying. I have like I have a rice cooker too, like a pressure cooker. I don't leave. I don't just like leave that sitting out. You know what I mean? Well, like I guess it's more like, you know, it's clutter. You know, like take up space and it's just there too, and it's not something you really want to be cluttering it up because it's a thing that you use. You know, you don't want it, and you don't want it dirty. And it's much easier to keep it clean if you put it away too. You like your hats with a spot. Does that make sense? I mean, like that's organization. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll show you the rice cooker I have too if you want. Make some rice. Actually, maybe I should just make some rice anyway. Okay. I was thinking about making a sandwich. Maybe I'll make some rice. You got some white rice. Some white rice. Some white rice. These are very sharp. But this is the little thing that goes in there, and this is why I really like this thing. I'm so impressed that it works as well as it does. And again, it just goes right in the blender. There's no special thing or any. It literally just grooves. It just goes right in there. It's amazing. I can't get over that. and it works great. I can't get it. Like I just like put me on the infomercial or something. Like I really can't get over that, man. That is such a good design. Ninja's amazing, man. They really are. No, I don't. Does Ninja make pressure cookers? I don't know if they do or not, but I don't have a Ninja one of those. But I do have a decent one. Yes, I think it's decent. It's been really good to me. So this says it's like, I guess the version 3 or whatever that means. I guess it's the third version of this particular bottle. So there's that. Measuring cup. This thing comes in handy for scraping the sides and stuff. The cable that it comes with isn't very long, but here's the hear me out. Here's the ingenious design. Ready? That's a computer cable. Yep. It's literally a computer cable. Monitor, computer. This is literally what this is. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. It's sort of like, like Sony did with like all their stuff. They had that like that one universal cable for like the longest time. They might even still do it. You know, like the PlayStation power cable. It's literally just a PC cable. I thought that was cool that they did that. Where are we at back here? Yeah. So yeah, as much as it is a short cable, you know, you could just get another one if you really wanted to. That's basically what I'm getting at. It's basically just a PC cable. trying to do it where you guys can see it. Oh, to move it forward here. Oh, that's weird. Does it look like it's blinking for you guys? It's not actually blinking. It's funny. I guess the frame rate of this is not very very high. So yeah, just looks like that. I mean, it's a really quality pressure cooker, man. And then this can just come right out. You don't need to do anything with that. That's the heating element in there, but it's, I mean, it is in good shape. I'm just gonna. This is actually really clean. Because that's how I put it away. Just gonna kind of wipe it out. That's good enough. Yeah, I know it probably looks like it's blinking, right? It's really not. That's funny. Yeah, it's not actually blinking. But this is in my opinion one of the best, if not the best, pressure cookers out there. I did my research, a lot of other people agree. Wholly aside from the fact that I've used pretty crappy pressure cookers before. So, if you're wondering, what do? What rice do I use? That's it. Let me see how much. So basically, all you need to do is this is it. You just need this. If you're going to use this, you're not necessarily going to have, it says stove and microwave. So just look at your portions, and then obviously you could just convert that. Let's see. Let's make a bunch. Let's make we'll make 4 servings. So I'll do 2 cups. Yeah, because I like rice. Oh man, where's my... Oh, right. Pancakes. Yeah, I love rice, man. Yeah. How do you not? Right. Alright, so it's 2 cups. Oh, it's 2 and 2. Oh, it's just. Oh, okay, it's just 1 per 1. I didn't realize that. Okay, that's easy. Alright, so I'm not going to use the little cup that came with it. You can. I'm going to use mine. That's why I was saying about finding the measuring cup. So we get the rice. We get the rice. We'll pack it down. We pack it down. That's about right. That's about right. with measuring rice, you wanna shake. And just kind of like flour and sugar. Because this box is the way it is, I can't get it back in the box. So I sort of just pat it down as I measure up. So I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not wasting rice as I get to the top. And yeah, I ended up being pretty even there, so. Or you could just open the box. Use a knife. Love it all. You do that. I just don't open the box. So I just pat it down. I do it a little differently. Okay, I haven't used this thing in a while, so give me a second to kind of look here. It was getting confused. I kept taking it on. Okay, now we also have to seal the vent. Should be sealed. Okay. I think that's it. Yep. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure all I have to do is just push rice. I was like waiting for a second. Yep. And again, I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's just because, you know, this is like a real sort of like old school digital display. And yeah, for sure, like FPS and all that. I mean, it's definitely not 60, you know. So, yeah, it's you're catching some blinks, I guess. The nice thing about this is it comes with all these things. Like you get a recipe book. So like if you're really confused and you want some cool ideas, like there really is a nice little book in here of like recipes and stuff. Oh wow, there's mashed potatoes. There's mashed potatoes in here. So yeah, like that's really cool, man. Like, and it's a really good product. Is it going? Maybe I have to push something. I feel like it should be starting by now. I'm gonna wait before I make that assumption. I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Because I feel like I remember there being something about an auto detect where it still has to heat up and then detect the amount and stuff. We'll see. I mean, I'll know eventually. I'll be able to tell eventually it won't be getting hot at all. But eventually this will turn to a number. It won't say auto. I don't think it's on. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. No, I think it is. I think that's literally all I had to do. Let me just look here. It's been a while. Yeah, like it really should. Yeah, I don't know. I think the fact that I can't do anything with it means it is doing something. Usually I'd feel something by now, I would think. It does take a little bit though. Like you have to realize that initially it probably does take a little bit, but I didn't think it took that long. I thought like once it warms up, it'll give me like a number where it's like, well, there's like 12 minutes left or something like that. It really shouldn't take that long. Yeah, I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. I'm doing something. Hold on. I see. Start. I mean, I really think that's what it's supposed to do. Oh, wait. I smell it. And I feel it. Yep. We good. I feel like maybe the first time it wasn't on. I feel like it's been sitting. I feel like it's been sitting for a while. Oh yeah. I mean there's something. There's something going on in there. That's right. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we're pretty sure it did. It's a bit complicated. That's dumb. It says. Okay, I think I just witnessed a heating element or something turning on. Yeah, it should take a minute, basically. Like 3 minutes tops. That's really weird. I don't think it's turning on. No. None of that. Really should just fucking work. Maybe I am supposed to do high pressure. But it's not really letting me do that. Oh, there we go. I just remember last time I used it, it was really awesome. It does the stupid auto thing. The fuck is this? It's supposed to start counting down though. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay. I mean, it is on. Okay, it's on now. It's really weird, man. It shouldn't take that long. Like, I'm just really confused by the fact that it just says auto. That's not good enough. Yeah, I think it's supposed to detect, but it's just not working. I mean, it's definitely getting hot. I really feel like I remember this, like, you know, counting down, like I said, at a certain point. Like it's, you know, like it's supposed to do some sort of detection. And I'm wondering why that's not happening. I'm not gonna let it in there too long. Because it is getting hot. So, I mean, regardless of what this says, I mean, that's heating up. No question. But it's very odd that this just says auto. That's just really throwing me off. Like, how does that help anything if it just says auto? You know what I mean? get that it's eventually supposed to indicate a time, but that's kind of my point, is you should be doing that. Oh, well, now I know the problem. Now I know what the problem was. I know what the problem was. It wasn't sealed. There's a little pin that you have to make sure it's pushed down. And I may have accidentally had it pushed up. So I'll vent this really quick and then we'll start over. That was my fault. That's why I was doing that then. I was like, I knew this was a good cooker. I was like, I knew it has to be something I'm doing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't make any sense to just said auto. How does that help? But now that makes sense. Like, that's why I couldn't detect and eventually just turn a thing on, because I didn't have that down. It's probably done. Like, honestly, I'll be honest with you, it's probably done. Also, that's what the purpose of this vent is. So, just to let you know, if you know, like you're using one of these things, just make sure you follow the instructions and you do that venting process properly, because you don't want to sit here and try to take that lid off with all that pressure. If you somehow manage to as well, I don't think it would go over too well. I don't think you. I don't. You somehow managed to get that lid. I just don't think it would go over very well. So let that finish venting. That's probably enough already. Right now, it's probably enough, but I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer. Yeah, that's enough. Honestly, I think it actually might be done. Regardless of whether I did it right or not. Yeah. It's done. And that was just my fault for not realizing that thing was. So the thing I was talking about is this. See the little metal piece right here? This needs to be down, and it was up. That's it. And so some air was getting out. That's why it wasn't making a complete seal. You have to, that's all. You just have to make sure that's pushed down. I did not do that. But, as you can see, we have rice. That's pretty good. Told you. So, like, it still worked even though we had the freaking... It didn't even have the seal all the way on and I was being dumb. It still worked. It still got it done. That's so funny. That's how good it is. I knew it. I was like, there's no way. I was like, it only takes a few minutes. It takes like 3 minutes. It takes literally like 3 minutes. Looks good. Oh, wow. Yeah. People probably usually eat rice. Yep, I do, actually. I'm the dude that'll just sit there and eat bread, too. I do that. I'll just eat bread. Nothing on it. If it's there. I mean, if I have butter, maybe. I could put butter on this, but... meh. I don't need to. It's good. Just rice, man. If I had some sweet and sour sauce, I'd put on. You ever done that with white rice? It's good. Now, if you just want to fry it like pork fried rice or something like that, like you do is throw in a wok with some soy sauce. And then obviously you gotta throw your pork and whatever in there too. But yeah. You walk it up. You walk it up. Walk, walk, walk. Yeah, it's good. Still works well. Even though I goofed it up. It still works great. Man, that's some sticky rice. That's good though. I think that's good. Because you can always, I mean, like that's what you use, you know, you make rice balls or whatever out of, not sticky rice. if I just make rice, I usually just dry the lid off, because rice doesn't really leave any type of... It really doesn't. There's really nothing. Rice is pretty clean. But yeah, like almost anything, even vegetables and stuff, like you know, like you have anything else in there, you really do want to probably rinse that off, but. I honestly just wipe it out, because seriously, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. It's just clean. But yeah, like, I'm still cleaning the thing out really well, and also the heating element. Here's what I wanted to show you. Like, it's really clean. Like, you can keep it really nice. That's the actual heating element itself. You can keep it really nice and clean, and in good shape. So it's a good product. Made really well. It's just my fault that I had that stupid thing up. And again, that's... You want this on sealing when it's locked, okay? And leave it there. And you want this down. That's what I didn't have down. You need this down. And if you don't know if it's down, get like a pen or something and like push on it. If you can't like get your like pinky in there or whatever. But it's gotta be down. And that's what I didn't do. Even says it right on the top of the lid, but I just forgot. Let's get rice. But yeah, this thing's really good for anything, honestly. Anything you'd use a pressure cooker for, in my opinion. Like, it's a good one. I'll let my feeble attempt fool you. No, I just, yeah, it's been a little bit since I used it. Just that one little mistake. Really can... Yeah, I mean, like, the whole point was it wouldn't pick a time, and I wasn't sure why. Well, of course it's not going to, because it can't properly detect the pressure, because it's not correct. Okay. Sorry, I just really needed to make sure I got this cleaned up, guys. And I gotta clean it up. If I get it out and use it, I can't not. Oh, I wanna keep my stuff nice. But yeah, look. you can really keep it nice. The bottom still cleans up nice too, as you can see. Just take care of it and put it away clean, and it'll stay that way. Nice and clean. Here's my, put it in the sink. Oh. A little scraper. I just put that in there with it. So I'm gonna find them later, because they are nice. I would highly recommend too that if you get this, don't ever use anything else other than these or something plastic, because I promise you these are plastic for a reason. And you will scratch the hell out of that drum. I promise you. So again, these are plastic for a reason. So always use plastic, because you don't want to scratch the crap out of the nice polished drum that's in here. Okay. So, and I always just store these with it, so you don't gotta find them later. These are so handy. Where did the handle go? Oh, there it is. There we go. Comes with a handle on the top, so I was trying to find the handle again after I took the box, opened up the box. But yeah, I just keep everything in the box, because then it's all together. Then you still have all the stuff. You get the cable, you get the tools, you get the little books that came with it, and it stays clean. You just put it right back on your shelf, and then the outside of it stays nice and stuff too. I don't know. That's just what I do, but highly recommend you do the same if you have something like this. A blender, and that doesn't matter as much, I don't think, but something like this. Something like that, yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know, just certain stuff, I guess. You know, everything in moderation, right? The rice is really good. I'm surprised this thing still works great. And yeah, like I said, my Ninja appliances are amazing too. I gotta clean up over here. I got all this cleaned up now. I gotta finish cleaning up. I got a thing cleaned up. I got the front of the window cleaned up. I gotta finish doing the behind the stove. I'm just trying to get a lot done. I cleaned out the bread box. Bread box needed desperately cleaned up. And scrub that thing. Oh, that's good. There's always time to pet the cat. Okay, let's get this all cleaned up again. Blender pretty good. Like I said, I just have a spot for it, you know. So I just have it sit out. I mean, like I said, I don't put this one in a box, but I do have a spot for it instead of having it sit out. But my coffee maker, my Ninja coffee maker, I mean, obviously, certain stuff I want out for allergies. So that's out of it. But the blender, yeah, I sort of put that away. And it is a cool design though, because it actually does have suction cup feet, little feetsies, suction cup feet on it that you know, like it sticks to the counter really well. So it's actually kind of why picking it up is difficult. Both hands. But it's such a nice product. This thing is amazing. 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 I know, right? Cable management. I know, right? It even has cable. I know, right? It even has cable I know, right? Until I knock it out of place. What? Where can you go wrong, man? Where can you go wrong? You can't. It's a phenomenal product. Sorry, I just really like to keep my stuff in good working order. So when I put it away, it is clean. Yeah, see, this got messed up. So, a good rule of thumb to remember is that if you're drying things upside down, a good thing to remember, a good tip for you, is that you don't necessarily need to dry all of this, but you do need to dry this, the rim. And the reason for that is because if you let the water on the rim, it dries up on the rim because of the rim. It sort of kind of gets caught there a little bit and then dries up and becomes, those hard water stains and, just the caked substance around the outside. And then this water runs down and hits that. And sometimes it'll even build up and actually cause a little bit of like a nasty scum. And that's what happens when you don't properly dry something. So all I'll say is if you're drying something upside down, just remember, if you want the water to properly run out of it, see how that, even that now is on the edge, whereas before it probably would have gotten stuck here. So the point is, if you want the water to properly run out of it and dry out, again, you want to dry the rim. I know, huge nerd. Pretty good. All right, it's ready to put away. My fault. All right. Can I not do it anywhere? I guess I'm finding that out. Oh, hold on. That's really weird. There we go. It's really weird. I used to be able to do it that way. I wonder why. So is it really just because you can't do it that way? Huh. I wonder why it's doing that now. Didn't do that before. That's odd. Alright, well, whatever. I can do that. Maybe it's just some sort of thing where, like, it only works those ways when it's on. Maybe there's a locking mechanism. Yeah, I mean, like, where it only works that way when it's on for some reason. Got it. That'd be weird. Anyway, we still got it put away and looking nice. Because the point is, I like to lock it in place when I put it away, so it's not, it's locked in place. It's not going to fall off. Really, really good product, man. Cable management, everything. So yeah, that's we got some gamer smoothies there. Totally free recipe for you to copy and use at your leisure. Not that it's like, I mean, it was actually really good. I think it was really good. I drank it pretty quick. I drank 2 servings pretty quickly. Alright, let's see what we got here. What we got? Rear. Oh man. Oh, that feels awesome. It's nice to get outside. You know, I'll tell you what. This country needs more regular things like Japan has. For example, hot springs. Yeah, like there's just some things that kind of like regularly are accepted in other countries and like, you know, just understood as health benefits and things like that. And because of a select few that, you know, see it a certain way or something like that, you know, it's like it gets masked by that instead of, you know, for what it is. So, you know, like we need definitely more. It is tough to do that when you don't have the climate for it, but you can still do it. And not only that, but there are still plenty of states that have the climate for it. Like California, Florida, or almost any southern states. And, you know, you could do hot springs. But, you know, obviously, like, volcanoes and stuff being what they are, you can't do them everywhere. Because the point is, like, there's definitely, like, the natural occurring ones, but now we understand certain things about, well, just certain technologies. You know, we actually can manufacture this versus, I think, even 20 years ago. You know, a lot, and fairly efficiently, I think. And so I think it's a huge opportunity for somebody to capitalize on such an investment, you know, hot springs. Something that, you know, people, you know, instead of maintaining a hot tub on their own and trying to do this on their own or something like that, could regularly, you know, like people with saunas too. You know, like a sauna is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. And again, a hot spring, you know, you could, I'm not going to give you my ideas unless you want to reach out to me and pay for them. But, you know, with a hot spring, there are certain mineral benefits that people don't take for granted and stuff like that. And, you know, I would have some ideas for that, obviously, but you could do it. You could do it. And, you know, the point is that it's, you know, it would be one of the first. One of the only ones, because like I would doubt that there's none. I would doubt that there's none. I think that there are some that they do like sort of indoors and stuff like that, but I'm talking about doing it right. I'm talking about real, actually doing it. I got some ideas. But anyway, you know, just like lots of things like that too. Like, I'll be honest with you, Now lately it's gotten a little bit better, I think, maybe, but for like a long time, like, you know, people in this country didn't even accept the fact that, you know, there was very simple topical solutions and stuff that have existed in parts of the world and stuff that only just now, you know, they're finding out about and stuff like that, but they've been going on, I mean, like, they've had this stuff for a long time, you know, and so, even just, like, some basic stuff that, like, these people have known have been around for generations and they've experienced for generations, you know, now, all of a sudden, people are like, oh, you know, here are getting it, like, oh, that's crazy, it's not that good, you know, or something like that, and they actually, like, say that. It's like, well, no, I'm literally just telling you that it is, you know, and, so it's the sort of thing where being resistant to things, just, you know, people being in denial and not wanting to accept, that, you know, how good somebody is at, you know, developing something or something like that, just because of the part of the world it might come from or something like that, if that makes sense. And that's a shame, because it shouldn't matter, you know, like, shouldn't matter, obviously. But yeah, you know, like, it's obviously, it's obviously a bad thing when you know, most people are, you know, really, really accepting of these certain things and understand these certain things, but then also don't understand certain things. It's really interesting too what culture does to society, different parts of the world, different countries. It's actually really interesting to think about why there's so many misguided, you know, people in one area of the world, but then they're not as misguided in that area in another part of the world, but with a different area they are, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. So like, you know, like, for example, in India and China and, like, a lot of those countries that, you know, like, out there, that have a lot of people in them. You guys know India and China have the most people in the entire, like, half the world's population is in India and China, you know that, right? So, with that being said, it's pretty interesting that their doctors and their medical people and stuff like that are just far more intelligent with what they do in their field, and you know, with those things in that part of the world. They are, you know, like, we all know, obviously, that Indian, like, doctors and stuff, like, are famous, and we know of you know, like we've heard the stories of the cures and stuff like that, but then we've also seen evidence of actual, like, doctors and stuff like that that are just better and stuff, and you know, we know that there are practices that come from that part of the world that are just instantly a million times better than you know, all these things that sometimes we do here. But then you take something as simple as theft, like fraud, and understanding, you know, like, just the ethics of
you know, you have to work for what you have. You don't steal. You don't take from other people and stuff like that. Just like kind of like the ethics of that. And suddenly, like, you realize that, like, well, that's something that, like, a good number of people maybe over here understand, and you know, like, or, you know, people kind of like get that over here. Like, we see that, you know, like, obviously there's always bad apples, but, like, you know, for the most part, yeah, you know, like, it's not as you know, it's not as crazy and out of control as it is over there. And so that's the point, is like, you have to rationalize, well, I understand, you know, plenty of good doctors over there, their medical's great, you know, like, you it's probably, like, I don't even know, like, and like other countries too, not even just India. Like I said, plenty of other countries. There's probably even better examples, but, like, the point is, they you know, like, there's always going to be that other thing that even the intelligent people and everybody in that country struggles with still. And you know, you have to the only way that you get past that is accepting, you know, like, essentially accepting that there's a problem, accepting the people higher up have to accept that, you know, at a certain point it is a problem. You know, and actually, like, step in and do something, you know, enough to matter. And that's it. But, you know, like, obviously it just takes that initiative, that's all. That's it. It's going to take somebody, some person, and they may not be well liked by, you know, but obviously the majority of the people that are whatever, you know, confused about that thing too. Because anytime you know, insist upon a change that affects a lot of people, you know, obviously you consider that some type of revolution, or, you know, like, essentially, like, yeah, you need a revolution. You need people to stop stealing billions of dollars from Americans daily. Well, I'm sorry, yearly. Billions yearly. So, you know, like, you realize that everybody's going to struggle with something. There's going to be some area. I mean, like, obviously Americans, we all know the problem there. And I don't shy away from it. I tell people all the time, I try to give my 2 cents. And what you have to realize is, like, there's a difference between my opinion and the fact thereof. Okay, so, like, the fact is exactly what I've said, and what even smart people are saying, what a lot of people are saying. You know, like, the fact is, our education level is very low compared to most other countries. People aren't educated here any longer. They really are being fooled by people that are. And that's it. The ones that are taking advantage of you, big time. That's the difference. And so, like, you know, you just have to take that and look at that. That's the fact. That's not my opinion. That's the part that's a fact. My opinion would be about what to do about that. Like, if I had, like, some suggestion, like, well, like, you know, like, the point is, we know this is a problem, so now what are we going to do about it? What you have to realize about dangerous people like Trump and, like, the people that have been in charge and stuff like that lately is that, you know, they don't want you to realize what that problem actually is. That's how they're fooling you. They're saying, look over here, let's buy the Gaza Strip. And they get you to, like, think about that, or, you know, like, they don't even half the time tell you what the problem is. Like, so you don't know. So, like, you have to realize, like, it's not about being stupid. It's not in terms of, like, trying to insult people and stuff like that. You can't think about that. It's just in terms of, like, the rest of the world actually kind of does realize how much more uneducated the average American is, and they're taking advantage of that. So hence you see in other countries where they are educated, doctors are better and stuff like that, they realize they can steal from more average Americans because they're just completely uneducated about those things. Because that's education. Versus people in India and stuff that might be scamming and stuff, that might not be education. That might be actually just them being lied to and misled and manipulated into believing something that isn't true. Believing a bunch of things that aren't true. Which is oftentimes the case. Very oftentimes the case with them. You know, like all these people that do those jobs, no, oftentimes they're just kind of tricked into thinking they're actually doing jobs and stuff, and that they're not really doing anything that's really that wrong. You know, like they're told that like we could just get like money. You know, like if they steal a bunch of money from you, they're told that you can just get it back like the next day or whatever. So, you know, like to them that's what they tell them, and you know, the guy in charge obviously knows what he's doing, and he's just lying, manipulating them. But that's the point. So you have to recognize, you have to understand, like, you're not going to necessarily get that because you come from here. That wouldn't make sense to you, so I don't expect you to understand and relate to why they would do this. The point is just to be educated enough about it that to know it's serious, to take it seriously and understand, you know, like why certain things are really bad and stuff like that. Trying to think of a good example to give you, or find. Okay. Okay. Here's a much more broad example to give you an idea of how you can apply this type of thinking to just basically anything. To kind of be open-minded about stuff. Think about it like this. Is it easy or difficult to attack a country that has a lot of landmass? And why? Like just like strategy war tactics. Do you even know? It is difficult. The reason why isn't because of numbers. You may think, oh well, they have a lot of people. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. The reason why is because that large landmass has an already established country. It doesn't, like, yeah, they might have a lot of like a population, but the point is, if they're already established and they're already defending it, it's the sort of thing where they have the advantage, and it's a lot of area. So yeah, like they might get in certain areas and stuff like that, but there's a lot of area to try to cover. So now take this concept and think about it opposite. Apply it to a small country now. Take exactly what I just said and ask yourself, do you think it's easy or difficult to invade or overtake a small country, a geographically, physically small country. I'm not talking population again. Doesn't matter the population, just physically small. Well, of course, like the point is, this is a lot easier because then, again, you have a much smaller area, and you can always, if it's in a neighboring country or something like that, you can work with that country to try to invade in other areas. This is what you have to understand: is that suddenly it doesn't matter that original country didn't really have a lot of resources or anything like that. It just mattered the fact that they were a larger physical landmass, and again, were already established and decided to do this. So you have to realize they're always going to overtake that unless you really overwhelm them, obviously with support or some other type of military and other people getting involved. So now take this other strategy. Now take this. I'm going to give you a little what if. What if you applied this strategy to a country that's an island? Then what? Now, that country that's an island, here's how you have to think about that that's correct. The country that's an island must be friends with the countries that are inland. Because if it is not, it may have problems from them, with the invasion issues and stuff like that. But if they are friends, oh man, it's actually really good to have that, because it's basically like having a whole huge military base, maybe even several, set up on those islands that are miles and miles out from your main land, and you don't have to really risk getting attacked because they're there to see things much further out and intercept and stuff like that. So it is a very good strategic point to have in that sense. So what you have to realize is all of these different concepts are different ways of actually thinking. If you are not open-minded, one of these concepts will occur to you. You will not consider the rest. You won't understand certain things about those concepts. You won't get why it's easier and more difficult, because you are too busy being stubborn about the way you think and not accepting the fact of the matter. So, like, let's say you're Donald Trump, and a general tells you these things that are facts and strategies that we've just known for generations. Because you're a general and you've been doing this for a very long time. I mean, come on. And so the point is, you're communicating this to Donald Trump, and typically, the idea is that that's the point. The president will listen to a general and will take his advice because he does do those things, and the president kind of trusts that and wants that mutual respect and trust. But let's say you are telling these things to somebody like Donald Trump, and instead of having something intelligent to say or anything even valid to offer, instead all he's doing is just arguing these points that you've always known as fact. Like whether it would or wouldn't be difficult for Russia to just obliterate Ukraine if they wanted to, or whatever, without our support. And yada 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 and such and such. So you get the idea. Like, basically, we fast forward to the point is that essentially, you have to rationalize that unless you have the ability to do this and have the ability to be open-minded about things and considering new information, you will always just defend that guy that's just kind of being a jerk. You always defend that Donald Trump guy that's just being a jerk and not accepting certain facts and trying to consider what the general is saying regardless of his opinion. Like it doesn't matter. Like you accept the fact that these are facts and what we know about strategy. Why would you argue that point? Unless you're trying to like create some sort of drama situation and just, you know, like it just doesn't make any sense. So you have to rationalize it and understand where people are coming from with that. Where, you know, like it's just a type of thinking where you just eventually get to a certain point where you have to recognize that anybody that would be educated or something like that, you know, just like when you do a job interview or something like that, you know, like you rule out certain people for certain positions, you know, based on certain things, you know, and so that's all I'm saying, you know, like but you know, like, just kind of like $2.5 trillion blip gone from the stock market overnight. That's pretty bad. Yeah, $2.5 trillion. Oh well. It's just $2.5 trillion, you know. Well, you know, you can apply, you know, your open-mindedness type of thinking to your opinion on which strategy you would choose based on those strategy facts about those countries and stuff. The point that you would, the conclusion you'd arrive to is the same as the general, where, okay, so since you're telling me all that, it's very obvious Russia would obliterate Ukraine without our help. Got it. That's the conclusion you would arrive at. So then your opinion would be to whether or not you would want to let Russia just obliterate Ukraine or not. That's all. That's it. You just make a decision about your opinion about whether or not you want Russia to just obliterate Ukraine or not. That's it. That's the opinion part. And that's what you have to recognize about politics. That's all you have to do with it is start accepting the facts that we can all get along and agree with as facts. Please do that, because that's the only way we can all kind of like constructively debate at the end of the day, and then find somebody that's good for the job and good for Congress too, like people to elect to Congress that are good too, because again, you want to you know, just remember how to do this stuff and think about politics instead of trying to just get all upset about it and stuff. I get it; it's all really messed up. It really is, but you have to be able to do that, or you're just gonna keep going down the same road and not really know who's lying to you in the political realm. Remember, it's just your ability to not have that ability any longer. It's just essentially you don't have the ability any longer if you start down that path too long, where you just keep making up excuses for somebody and stuff like that, and You know what I mean? Like, you'll just never stop doing that and keep justifying it, and it just gets worse. You have to eventually just accept that, you know, a lot of those things were facts, you know, that happened and stuff like that, and you know, start kind of, you know, investigating on that path for yourself and realizing where you want to fall, you know. Well, anyway. Well, anyway. Stop destroying Teslas. Doesn't help anything. I don't understand why people think that's the answer. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, that's the irrational. Yeah, I mean, like, you see it on both sides. Really do. I mean, you see it on both sides. It's not just one side. I mean, I see it on the other side too. I was just explaining it. I mean, you mean, like, obviously don't destroy Teslas. Like, come on. So, can I be honest with you guys? Are you starting to arrive at the same conclusions yet? Because I did kind of, like, talk to you guys a little bit about why I thought he kind of made it so that, like, you know, like got the judges to make it so that he essentially can't possibly, you know, like, he can't be held accountable for anything he does while in office. It's illegal. You remember that he did that before going into office, and again, it's the first time in history. Like, it's never been the case. So now going into office, he does that, and then he starts doing all these things that normally, if you would do them after he would no longer be the president, he would be charged with them. So like it's the sort of thing where, like, you start rationalizing why the judges did that, so that he could start trying to do these things that would be like a dictatorship, sort of, where, like, all these people are in power and stuff. Have to, again, arrive at the same conclusion based on the facts, not based on the opinion. My opinion doesn't change you arriving at the conclusion based on these facts. The opinion, again, would be what to do about it. Like, what to do about it. I personally have never heard of another president talking about a third term because they respect our Constitution. I've never heard that in my entire life. Never. Not once. Except this guy. So I honestly think that that's impeachable enough. I think that if you would conduct an investigation to find out how many times previously he said stuff, even in his first term, that leaned toward him wanting to do this and stuff, you would collect enough evidence to find him, guilty of the fact that he was trying to rig it for a third term. He's already stated that if it comes down to it, he's going to have, he literally said this, he's going to have Vance run and win and then give power to him when he's in office. You realize that if you say that, that's illegal? You can't state that because it's like treason. Because the point is, in order to do that, you have to declare a state of national emergency. If you voted for Vance, you have to have a reason to give power back to Trump. Like you voted for Vance, so you have to have a reason. It's not treason, but it's like it. There's just too many crazy things that you need to kind of realize. At a certain point, he's just trying to be president forever at this point. And then when you research it, you find out he didn't even really want to do this in the first place. And it just after everything, you have to kind of piece that together and figure out why that's the case. You'll understand. I feel like I've done that enough times for you guys, to be honest. But it's something you gotta still kind of discover on your own and figure it out if you're kind of lost and stuck still on it, because it's the sort of thing where you're in some pretty heavy denial. I'm not trying to be rude, but it would be pretty heavy denial at this point for you to not discredit somebody that. It's just kind of basic politics. Agua.
do laundry. I gotta do some laundry. I gotta do some laundry. 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 I gotta do some laundry. Some laundry. Some laundry. Some laundry. What's going on, guys? Sit in here. Cat. Fine. Hey. No. Hey. So I was in the mood for a orange. Well, clementine, tangelo, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, some citrus. There's a cat next to me. Hey, young. Hi. Pulling her head up, she smells the fruit. Yeah. I hear you purring. Mm. Oh, yeah.
Hi. Yawn. He's just sleeping. I'm precious. Hi. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Thanks for watching, guys.